Hi all. Okay, take two for trying to put the solar panels up. We'll see how we go this time.
I don't know.
Can you do it?
What are you giving it? How are you giving it?
I was going to go. And off we go, back to Bunnings yet again, second time today. Let's go. Luckily for us, we've got a Bunnings only a few kilometres away from our house. I think soon they're going to be on a first name basis with us, with the greeters. Okay, it's now midday and the progress that we've made is we've plonked the solar panels onto the roof, and that is it. Good going.
We have put on U-bolts, we have removed U-bolts because they do not fit properly.
But we've now got a good
hard.
idea. This should now work easier. Famous last words. And we're off.
Okay, after all day working, late afternoon, putting in the final screws.
Few, still more.
Or should I say nuts and bolts. Or maybe not.
We haven't actually said what the name of the van is, even though I think we've alluded to it, and by the YouTube channel you may be able to guess. We've decided to call our van Eden, because it's our little bit of paradise for us for travelling around. And also, before we get on to today's things, I didn't show you as well, we end up getting the window tinting done. So the front windows are 35% tinting, which is the maximum legal for registering in all states of Australia. The side windows, they are 15% tinting on, so reasonably dark, but we could still see out from inside, not too bad. And for the rear windows, they're 5%, so quite dark really, but still we can see out. When we were looking at, well, when we bought the actual solar panels, we wanted to maximize the area between the fan and the top, or the front of the van, to get as much solar panels as we could for getting as much power on there. But we also had the idea of having a PVC pipe going along the top on this side of it, where we could fill up with water to make paint it black and make it for hot water maker basically. So that was our premise when we put together all the solar panels. So we had a Tetris laid out, looked like it was all going to work well. And when we put it up on the roof yesterday, all the panels up there, we had a slight thinking error. When we put the actual solar panels on the roof, we end up finding out our little bolt areas that were going to be were right on where the actual roof rack supports went. So slight thinking error there, one of many, and they didn't quite go on. Oh, and I suppose a little bit of information on the solar panels. They are 180 watt solar panels. So between the three of them, we should have about 540 watts of power getting produced. Okay, I'm about to enter some dangerous ground here at the moment. The project manager is off at work today, so I'm about to do some unsupervised measuring and cutting myself. The very first thing actually that we did for the van was just create this little wooden frame here. So Angela was saying at the time, that's boring, no need to video that. I mean, what can you go wrong with just measuring and cutting a one piece of wood up here for a frame? Well, after cutting 3 pieces, I had to sheepishly go back to her and say, have to go back to Bunnings. I've actually made a bit of a boo-boo. My tape measure was actually a little bit, the knobby bit on the end was a bit off and wasn't measuring exactly. So I decided to start from 10 centimeters instead of 0, and forgot to add on the 10 at the end. So I cut all these pieces too small. After I got my new piece of wood though, I was ready to go all again. And I did almost exactly the same again, but the project manager was on hand to give me a slap around the head and say, wait, do it right. So anyway, here I go, unsupervised. Let's see if I can do it right. I've lost my blade. Take 2. Take 2. Let's see if I can get further than 2 centimeters. Woohoo! But now, will it fit? Oh, forgot a bit. So what was the result? Being left unsupervised without the project manager here. A pretty good fit. Looks like it's just nicely gone onto here, except for one slight problem. I did all the measurements for this with the back door open, and I forgot all about this lever here because that was out when the door was open. Don't. Take 2. Take 2. Woohoo! Now, she'll never know. Don't tell her. Shh. Okay, before I mount the board on the wall back there, I'm going to put a bit of insulation behind it. The insulation we end up deciding to go on for the van is a wool blend little batts. You can see, wool blend insulation. So hopefully, when they're saying environmentally friendly, non-irritant, non-toxic, no specialized safety equipment is required. So we're hoping it's going to be a little bit better than putting other types of insulation, fiberglass, poly, any of that type of stuff. So here we go. Okay, the insulation is actually pretty easy to work with. This is actually half a sheet. It just pretty much just tears pretty much straight along when you want to put out any little bits in here. And yeah, it looks like it's going to be not too difficult a job to get most of the van done with this a bit later. So crack on. We're just boxing up our little well. For us, we're just doing a pretty simple little box on here at the moment. All this is going to be doing is holding our inverter sitting on top there, so it's not going to be requiring to hold a great deal of weight. It's just going to be pretty solid on there, which I actually feel it is at the moment. Angela just stuffing the wall with insulation. So today we've been just doing a little bit of that and finishing off some of the boxing for our electrical equipment. You see our box is strong enough, even Yoda can stand on it. So today was just really just securing the battery and just preparing all the wall where we're going to be mounting our electrical equipment on. Okay, now I've got this board mounted. This is underneath our main board that we're going to have our main wall. This is just a backboard because our bed is going to be pretty much along here, and if we want to sit up in bed and go sideways, we can lean back against the wall, just a bit of extra support back there before we stick our outer ply on. And I think that's pretty much a wrap for this weekend. So yeah. So that's a wrap for this weekend, and we'll catch you all next time. Bye!